Hey guys, Cam15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back at it with another One Piece anime episode review for you guys. As we were back continuing on this Wano arc for the anime. Obviously you're wondering, wait, why did you not upload any videos yesterday? It pertains to like My Hero, this show too. I was working yesterday. I was working Dodger Fan Fest. So that's what I was doing. So practically with that whole thing, I was at the event the entire day working on that event. And if you've been checking out my most recent videos, I've been saying that I got a new job. Well, with the fact that I just said I was working Dodger Fan Fest, that should give enough away to tell you who I work for now. Anyways, One Piece. This episode was fine for the most part. It was just kind of your typical episode of Luffy instilling confidence in Momonosuke to overcome the fears of pretty much facing Kaido face to face. The thing is, you know, it was alright for the most part. Obviously, it was just kind of a character development moment for Momonosuke to stand up to the person he feared the most in his life, and to not back down from him. And pretty much Luffy instilling belief in him, because that's Luffy's character. He always instills belief in other characters and everything to go against a certain cause or go against their fears and stand above them and everything. So yeah, now I can see why some people would say, like, dude, just freaking listen to Luffy and freaking do it. Now again, you have to be reminded, just because Momonosuke is a lot older, he's still got the mind of an 8-year-old child. So it's as if he never aged those 20 years, because if he was 20, he'd probably be, I'm guessing, 20 plus 8. Let's do the math. 20 plus 8. I think he'd be 36. I guess so. He'd be in his 30s or his late 20s. After 20 years had passed. So, regardless of the fact that he's not as old as what his actual age should be. He's just aged up to what his actual age should be at that point in time. But you know, we see how Luffy inspires confidence in him and everything, and I can understand, you know, alright, I can see why somebody's like, I don't know, this episode's not doing it for me, because the Momonosuke stuff and things like that. But yeah, we start the episode off with the amazing animation that we got from last week, at the end of last week's episode, which majority chunk of this episode, which is probably my only negative highlight. Again, I understand that One Piece, the anime, they like to draw out shit. They just like to they like to in some cases use reanimated, you know, stills and things like that. Like for example, when Luffy used the elephant gun on Kaido. Yes, in the motion Luffy did the elephant gun, the animation wise was different, but it was pretty much word for word what Luffy exactly did to Kaido in their very first battle. And then even when Kaido gets hit, that's like that very first animation still, when the hit hits him on like the beak of his like nose and everything, and he just goes down. I'm like, okay, we're reusing animation stills. I know that saves money, but shit, come on, man. And everything, and you know, the reanimated stills and drawing things out. But my God, I'm telling you, man, there were like more than 10 freaking shots when you just had freaking Kaido and Momonosuke CGI wise looking at each other for like almost damn near a minute, almost 2 minutes, literally. And I was like, bro, come on, I don't want to see this. One Piece is notoriously, I don't know, man. The anime for One Piece, man, they do, I don't know who their CGI guy is, but their CGI dude is not great, bro. like, it is not good. The CGI, man. I have to go back and rewatch One Piece Film Red. I think they did use a CGI creature in that movie. But I think that actually looked okay for the most part. I know in One Piece Stampede, the CGI on Douglas's bullet freaking golem, that was like, oh god, like that's the best you guys got. And seeing the CGI dragons between Momonosuke and Kaido, man, I was just like, it was jarring to look at. I'm like, please stop with the CGI dragons. I'm fine with the 2D animated stills, please. But you gotta obviously fit two of them on the screen, so it's like, oh boy, please no. But it's the only way to make the things work in a way. So, alright, yeah. Anyways, they get back. Kaido's shocked. He's like, how the hell are you still alive, Straw Hat? And everything. Momonosuke, my bad. Yamato is obviously happy that Luffy's back, and, you know, she's like, oh, I knew you would come back, and then, obviously, Luffy's like, yeah, of course I would, you know, thanks for holding down the fort, pretty much. I'll take care of this whole situation with Kaido. But Kaido, he's just like, why the hell are you back? And Luffy said, please, you can't kill me because I'm gonna become king of the pirates. So that obviously ticks frickin' Kaido off, and he's like, man, please, the One Piece is mine, you know, there's nobody in this world that can stop me, pretty much. Then he asks, like, alright, who the hell is this pink dragon? Who are you? So you have the typical scene where frickin' Momonosuke is all afraid and everything, and he's recalling back to his flashbacks and things like that. And then that's when he's like, my name is Kozuki Momonosuke, I'm gonna be Shogun of Wano. So he's like, Kaido really looks at this guy, he's like, the fudge is going on, man? The fudge. I'm gonna try to tone down the swearing in my videos, especially with the fact that I work for a professional organization. Anyways, you know, that's kind of the thing there. Freaking Kaido's just like, oh god, why is this kid why is this brat a huge dragon now? Now, in the meantime, because there's two dragons, we actually cut over to the other fights. We kind of see what's going on. We do see how the masked guy that looked like I forgot her name already. Whatever. They go on to make the mention about, like, oh, there's this pink dragon and everything. People are like, well, we don't know the identity of this pink dragon. They're like, oh, interesting. We cut over to the other battles. Mostly we focus in on Nekomamushi and Inuarashi, Dogstorm, and Cat Viper as they're both fighting Jack and Perospero. They end up deforming from their Sulong forms because, well, with the fact that Momonosuke is not only a dragon, but Kaido's also a dragon, it's mostly because Kaido's a dragon. He pretty much makes the clouds reappear, and it blocks the moon. And if there's not a full moon, well then the minks can't go Sulong. So pretty much Cat Viper and Dogstorm, they're pretty much put into a corner right now. Probably more Cat Viper than Dogstorm, but even then they're both put into a corner because after using their Sulong forms, they're obviously downgraded to being pretty darn weak right now. You know, Cat Viper, he's not looking too good. Like Perospero puts like candy arrows into his back and things like that, and he looks like he's down. He's still conscious, but he's down, and you know, he makes like a candy axe, and he looks like he's about to cut off Cat Viper's head off. And pretty much he's like, oh, it seems like I get lucky yet again. And I'm like, yes, Perospero, we get it. You've been the lucky MF for this entire time since we've seen you in frickin' Whole Cake Island. There's many times that you should have died in this series, but no! You somehow have the luck of God to somehow get out of these situations alive. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know if Carrot or Wanda are going to get involved. And things like that. So I guess we'll find out. The only thing is, hopefully somehow luck is on the side of our mink friends, and they're able to get the full moon back, and then they go back to their Sulong form. So yeah, we actually do cut over to Wano, the mainland of Wano. Otama's with the I forgot. Uh, I think it's Tengu Yama or something like that. Guy with the long mask with the red nose, long red nose mask, and he's pretty much talking about like he's just saying, oh, I wonder what's going on up on Onigashima and everything, and pretty much Otoko was saying like, oh, the flames are reaching the pretty much the heavens where father's watching down on us and everything. So it's kind of one of those moments where you feel for the girl again. She lost her father like pretty much unceremoniously, and that was kind of the thing. And I was actually thinking, I hope like for the people of of Yasui's like region area, I really do hope they find a way to like, I guess you could say, I think it's more than likely permanent, but I really do hope they find a way to reverse the effects of the Smile Devil Fruit users, especially the ones that ended up were failures, where it just has people smiling non-stop, and it really doesn't have them look like they're showing emotion. I mean, it looks like they're laughing, but we'll see what that aspect. But again, it's kind of like a sad thing right then and there. You do feel for Otoko, but we do get a flashback to see how Otama ended up getting to Onigashima. She ended up taking a shit with the Smile Devil Fruit users that she ended up possessing with her Dongo Dongo fruit powers, and pretty much Tenguyama was like, hey, freaking come back, it's too dangerous for you to go to Onigashima. And Otama is like, I have to do something. I just can't watch this country fall apart, and I want to participate in this fight, in this battle, to try to save Wano. It's my home too, pretty much. So that's kind of the thing there, and he also wonders not only what's going on, but he also wonders how Otama is doing. Again, we cut back to this Luffy Momonosuke versus Kaido fight and everything, and pretty much Luffy's like, alright, you need to bite Kaido, man. You need to bite Kaido. First, Kaido is pretty much pissed off. He's like, oh, you're this brat, man, please get the hell out of here. He's about to fire off a blast breath, and Luffy's like, dude, do the same thing he's doing. Fire off a breath attack. And Momonosuke's like, I don't know how to do that. What do you want me to do? And Luffy's like, but come on, you can do it. Do something. I don't know. Bite him. Jeez. And Momonosuke's like, bite him? What are you talking about? Kaido fires off his blast breaths, but Momonosuke dodges them out of the way, and everything. And Luffy's telling him, listen, you just bite him. I'm gonna go do this. So that's when he jumps up into the air. He fires off an elephant gun. It hits Kaido. Kaido's down for like a second or two. It looks like it did really absolutely no dang damage, because this guy's like skin as a dragon is so darn impenetrable. You can't really harm the guy. It's like he's indestructible when he transforms into a dang dragon. But then all of a sudden you just have Momonosuke recalling all these flashback moments and everything of the past and everything, of the way he affected his dad, Kozu Oden and Toki, and then he ends up having the confidence. He bites down on Kaido. Kaido actually kind of screams out in pain, actually, because, well, you would think, well, if it's hard enough for a human character to freaking try to hurt Kaido that badly, well, Zoro actually damaged his skin pretty bad. So I guess you can't, if you hit him with enough force, you can actually pretty much badly cut him. But Momonosuke is a dragon. He just bites down, and Kaido screams out in pain. And we actually see Momonosuke bites down so hard, he actually gets Kaido to bleed. He actually breaks through the skin. And pretty much, this is his way of saying, well, you've done all these things, horrible things to me. If it wasn't for you coming to Wano, well, then my mom and my dad would still be alive, pretty much. And obviously, the thing is, Kaido's like, please stop with your miscellaneous dreams. You're gonna die alongside them, pretty much. Then Luffy just gives a punch when it looks like he's gonna fire off a blast breath right point blank at Momonosuke, which would probably kill him. Even if he was a dragon, I don't know. But Luffy fires it off, or fires a punch off, and it pretty much knocks Kaido away for the time being. And pretty much he's like, good job, Momonosuke, you mastered up. And he pretty much is telling Momonosuke, he's like, listen, is there anything left for you to be scared of? You just bit an emperor of the frickin' sea, man. If you bit an emperor of the sea, what left is there to be scared of? Nothing, really. Which is what Momonosuke says. And And then they just the other people, the Beast Pirate members who were kind of watching this whole instant, they're pretty much saying like, okay, the pink dragon is actually Kozuki Momonosuke, guys. Oh, and with Luffy screaming out to Momonosuke, everybody hears him over the radio, pretty much over the intercoms that's going through Onigashima, and practically there's your end of the episode. Everybody gets inspired. Chopper makes them just like, I feel energized for some weird reason, because that's what Luffy does. You know, and that's kind of his whole thing. That's kind of the whole thing about these main protagonists. You know, they always inspire their friends and things like that. But that's where the episode ends off. We're continuing on with more Luffy versus Kaido, things like that, yada yada yada. This episode was solid for the most part, outside I guess the CGI dragon stuff that I thought they just, good God, stayed on it for far too long. But hey, I don't direct these episodes. But another solid episode of One Piece, and things like that. But till then, guys, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Until then, guys, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of One Piece and things like that. But till then, guys, peace.